And welcome to yet another Indie 5 of Rauta. So today we present 5 albums, which most of are 2017 releases and only one is from this year. And the reason that why of this one of these newer releases on this batch, it's because it's self-financed CDR. So less focus on new albums with this one, but hopefully something nice for you to find out. We'll start with a unique album, unique band from Kartikeya. I don't know how to say it. Samudra. Something along those lines is how this album name should be pronounced. But this is an interesting case of gent, more modern kind of technical stuff. In combination with album that is supposed to be part of trilogy or something, and focusing on Hindu stories. Yet this band is, if I recall right, somewhere from Ukraine or whatever, and as such is not very typical in any ways. I mean, Hindu topics are not that common in any way. But also when this band comes from, well, not a place where these Hindu gods are mostly worshipped, it becomes even more interesting and kind of unique. And that combined with before mentioned gent and math metal technical stuff, somewhere along the lines with Meshuggah and other bands that sort is the name of the game here. Now, this album is more and interesting when it's listed as such elements than it is a pleasure to listen to. Now, don't get me wrong, these guys are really talented and the way they are creating music is, to say the least, an interesting way. And all the elements here are something that you don't that often get to listen to. The downside, of course, is that these guys are so deep, their heads in the river, let's say, that this album is made of way too lengthy songs for its own good. It's way too lengthy as an overall piece. And since these are not exactly the type of songs you get very easily hooked into, there's quite a big chance that one might just feel like, this is too heavy, and the wrong way heavy that is. That it is so kind of tiresome, cumbersome to actually enjoy that music. So while great as a band, and the way that they create their music is a interesting Hindu stuff with gent, math metal, whatever, is just too hard a pill for most of us to swallow. Nice ideas, but the outcome is not very fluid, very smooth and all that stuff. But those who are into really hipster stuff, go check out Kartikeya. Next one comes from Dutch. This is a self-financed CD from a band called Morvigor, and the album is Tyrant, as you can see on here. This is nice looking digipack, and I must say I'm a little puzzled why this one is self-financed, because the music is actually way better than many bands having a proper label. Digipack release as such is always nice too, and the music itself, of course, is the main meal here, main course. And as such, I can only guess why this has gone out as self-financed, because even though these guys are not exactly reinventing the wheel, so to speak, their black metal, which has lots of Nordic influences, also has quite a bit of death metal vibes, and not in a bad way, I might add. There are also some melodies which are, yet again, very Swedish-like, even reminding bands like Amon Amarth, that is not so black metal. But the overall feeling with, these melodies, aggressiveness, and the kind of a rawish output is something that I find this album mostly enjoyable. Not a top-notch 5 out of 5 album, but nevertheless a really potent band with lots of nice ideas. Some of the songs are actually quite groovy and kind of a energetic, you know, the kind of a stuff that actually gets you going very easily. Now, the whole album is maybe not very polished or, you know, honed to the max, but nevertheless, this is something that I would strongly advise checking out because it's mostly good than, say, mediocre. And like I said, I can only guess why this hasn't been taken by a label, because I think this would, you know, deserve such a release. But then again, nothing wrong with this particular digipack. Looks nice, sounds nice, so maybe you should check it out if death black hybrids or black metal with some death metal influences are your cup of tea. Definitely quite nice release. Next we go to Italy, and this time it's all about avant-garde metal, or actually metal of lots of different sub-genres. This is what I would call brown metal in a way, not exactly referring to defecation, but more to that when you take all the main colors and you just, you know, mix and match. There is no blue, there is no yellow, there is no red anymore. It's just brown, because, well, you get the idea. Anyhow, Párodos with this debut album Catharsis. Like I said, it's kind of avant-garde-ish metal. Lots of different ideas melt into one, and it's one of those, say, musicianship albums. And by that I mean the type of music which is no doubt fun to play, fun to create, and, you know, try different elements, put them together, and, you know, smile at your rehearsal room while not figuring out exactly that this kind of music is not very pleasant to listen to. It has lots of ideas, even some moments of melancholy or whatnot. Like I said, like I wrote in my written review, it has some Paradise Lost vibes, just lacking the good songs though. So everything looks nice, like on the covers and all that stuff, but the music is really, really boring. The thing is here that while these members of the band have been totally trying out different ideas, experimenting and trying to glue different parts together, it kind of loses the whole point in the process. That is, no good songs, no good ideas as such, and everything is just like uber lengthy, which then again results in being quite a crappy album. I could say this is somewhat mediocre-ish, because, I mean, production is not bad, and, you know, the vocals are okay, but the whole thing here with this album is that it's like a kind of a, it's not a good buffet table, you know, you just kind of, okay, there's a salad bar, I'm gonna take this one, maybe just a little bit, it doesn't look that good, maybe this one and this one, and the result is like, you're not happy with what you have on your plate. It's just something that kind of like, okay, I won't be coming back to this place anymore because it just kind of sucks, even though the ingredients are not that bad. But I mean, bands should just maybe focus on something before going extravaganza or some other crap. I mean, like, what a waste of time. Not bad, but mostly bad than good. Next we go to Finland, and this is the only one from 2018. And like I said, this is a CDR. One could say this is Maxwell CDR with... Oh no, this band is actually called Strunkiin, as you can pretty much figure out of logo. I know you can. And the album is called Joy of Creation. Now, this band used to release something previously, which was kind of crappy. But this time, actually, this cover image is pretty nice. This is very wintry themed. Now only one-man band by a guy called LP. Well, he has decided to hide his identity. I'm not gonna mention it here, but only one-man band now. There was a second member for a brief while. Don't know what happened to that guy. But now the music is kind of a nature-oriented instrumental music with lots of vibes to black metal or green metal, as the case is with so many nature-oriented bands. Now, previously, Strunkiin failed to create good songs. They had crappy, I mean really crappy drum machine to do all the percussions. And unfortunately, basically nothing has changed. Now, this album came out in sometime spring 2018, and to me it feels like this could have come out sometimes in around 93 or whatever. Now, lots of melodies, very lengthy songs to the point it makes no sense really, up to 15 minutes or so, and I think the shortest one was like something like 9 minutes, and it's just way too much when it comes to the actual compositions of this album. The thing is, they're just made of some crappy, very weak guitar sounds, which play very mediocre riffs or even less. Lots of synths, which then again are quite okay. And that really horrible drum machine, which just makes my head explode or implode, I'm not sure which way. And there are no vocals, which is not a bad idea when you think of that. Even, you know, bad vocals could be making this album even worse. But when you're doing approximately 10-minute songs and you have to fill it with drum machine, synths and crappy guitar, it's like maybe, just maybe some vocal parts would be, you know, making a little bit more sense given this length of this album. Now there's one certain theme that kind of goes throughout the album here and there, and then there's some, you know, nature ambient sounds like some distant bird doing its vocal parts. But other than that, it's just like over lengthy demo basically. And I could claim that all these songs, like 3/4 could be, you know, cut off, or at least half of the material. And it would be still, I guess, too much, or at least it would be less annoying. Like I said, this drum machine is so annoying, it kind of ruins the whole thing here. Actually, the guitars are quite, you know, meaningless here too, because it's actually the synths that make this album worth any kind of listening. Now, I'm not gonna say this is the worst thing I've heard this entire year so far, but it's pretty goddamn close to it, because, like I said, those drums are just annoying, there are no vocals, the songs are way too lengthy, and the guitars are so weak and pathetic that if it wasn't for some melodic parts, I would just like, why do you even do this? So I cannot recommend Strunkiin to anybody, except once it gets rid of those drums and guitars maybe. Or I don't know, maybe add some nice layers of beautiful women vocals. Maybe this and Morvigor should do a collaboration of some sort. Add those beautiful female vocals, forget all the black or green metal stuff, and just, you know, focus on nature sounds and nice, you know, female vocals. Maybe that, in that case, that would make sense. But other than that, this is just like, man, waste of time. Don't quit your day job over this band. But luckily we have some good album on this Indie 5 also, and this one is from Greece. This is one called W.E.B with dots, so W.E.B or something in that direction. This one's called Párodos. And this is one fine looking digipack release, you know, a 3-fold, and also not just a CD but also DVD in the middle, which is a live compilation, not very good quality though, just some club recordings, but one could say that these are just some bonus material to, you know, add some additional value to the CD here, which then again is pretty nice. And W.E.B's latest release prior to this one was Forbidden's, which was kind of crappy synth, goth, whatever type of metal. But this time they have actually managed to put out quite nice album. So what kind of music this is then? One could say this is pretty close to symphonic black metal a la Dimmu Borgir. But then again, this is maybe a little bit more gothic, a little bit more atmospheric. And well, musically it's quite nice. It's not totally on par with Dimmu Borgir for most parts, I guess. But overall, you know, the production, the bombastic symphonic elements here, they're all there. The vocals are something which are very typical, but also very fitting for this kind of music. So kind of a black metalish vibe on the overall recording. And like I said, the package is really nice, which then again creates extra value for this band. And there is maybe some behemoth later style with this music, because it's kind of like having some deathish moments, but it's mostly goth symphonic metal, and as such I think it's pretty good. Maybe not something I'm gonna just, you know, put in my collection, but that's because I'm picky, not that this album is exactly not that good. So overall, the winner here, if we had to pick one, would be W.E.B. I know the name kind of sucks. I mean, like, duds are so last season when it comes to band names, but if you have a soft spot for Dimmu Borgir and other symphonic orchestrated bands with metal approach, black metal or otherwise, I strongly suggest you to give W.E.B. a chance. It might be too gothic or too soft for some people, but those who can go beyond these borderlines, give it a chance. These guys, or guys and a girl, have deserved it. Nice album, already released 2017, so should be available wherever you are roaming. Thank you for watching, and as always, should you have any comments, questions and whatnot, drop them on the comment box below, and see you soon with more Rauta reviews. Bye.